We'll give it another minute and then get started.
Go.
All right, yeah, let's get it going. Start us off.
All right. Hello, everyone. I'm Umar. I'm the recruitment chairman here at Sigma Alpha Epsilon. First of all, welcome to this Zoom meeting. Thank you guys for joining. So our fraternity is called Sigma Alpha Epsilon, or SAE for short. The governing principle of our fraternity, our creed, is known as the true gentleman. It's a set of values and morals that we make sure that every member in this chapter abides by. In short, essentially what it stands for is making sure that everyone in this chapter is conduct and their behaviors are that of an actual gentleman, and making sure that they behave appropriately and in accordance to that. Touching on the fraternity, in a large part, we are the largest fraternity nationwide. So that means we have an alumni access of over 360,000 members nationally and internationally. And some of our core functions and commitments are four values actually are friendship, scholarship, leadership, and service. So recruitment. So as I mentioned earlier, I am the recruitment chairman here at Sigma Alpha Epsilon. Our recruitment process, in short, is a very formal university recognized process. We are one of the only fraternities that are actually affiliated with the school and not an independent IFC. So as you would expect, they make sure that we comply with specific rules and fairness that adhere to their standards of student well-being. Additionally, our recruitment is focused completely and entirely on shared values, ideas, topics of interest, and making sure that not only are we finding the right people for our fraternity, but that they are finding the right house for themselves.
Okay, so I'm going to jump in here. My name's Kobe Siegel. I'm the president of the chapter, and I just want to talk about a few things that are important to us as a chapter and why I think this experience is beneficial. We're going to start with academics, which is something we take very seriously. And I'm going to talk more about positions in the house later, but one of our positions is scholarship chairman, and their job is to make sure that, people in the house are doing well academically. We have a GPA requirement for our members, and our scholarship chairman makes sure that they're above that threshold. And if they fall below that, there's programs and tutoring that are in place to make sure that they're able to get their grades back up. Additionally, our scholarship chairman also has exclusive tutoring groups, not exclusive, but exclusive to the brothers during midterm and finals, so that, again, it's just to reiterate our importance of having a good GPA. And the last thing I'll say about academics is I can speak personally. I've had a number of classes where I just happen to have other members of SAE in the same class, and that has opened up doors for, study sessions, people to work on assignments with. It's really helped in a big way. And that's just the network that we've provided.
I just want to add before Kobe moves on from the slide that the average GPA in this chapter is 3.4, so it's one of the highest, or I think the highest, in terms of all the fraternities that are on campus. So.
Thanks, Umar. Let's talk about fraternity leadership. I mentioned the positions a bit earlier. So 12 executive board positions and then 12 general officer positions. We're big on people joining this house to come and start contributing immediately. And, we all want to make it great. We have positions ranging from, our treasurer who handles the finances to we have a career development chairman whose job is, to help kids land internships and get ready for the workforce after they graduate. And anybody that didn't get these positions, they're it's recommended that they join a committee. So everybody's involved, everybody's helping out, and everybody wants to make the experience great. I want to speak briefly. I'm a senior. I was a transfer to USC. Before I transferred, I worked in a corporate setting for about 3 years, and now I've had the opportunity to work, from an executive position in this fraternity. And believe it or not, the decision making, the dealing with people, the different things that you do does translate to the stuff that you do in the real world. More than I would have ever expected, but it's benefited me drastically just in how to deal with people, how to speak publicly, and different things like that. The last thing I'll mention is these positions, obviously, like it says here, we have 24. We hold elections for these positions, which let me just say is a great learning opportunity where you have to go up, give a speech, explain why you're fit for the position, and then answer questions that people have. I mean, that's kind of a unique experience that is going to prepare you for anything in life. So, let me move on now. USCIFC. This pretty much just means we SAE were affiliated with the school. So a number of years ago, all the fraternities were affiliated with the school, and then they decided to spin off and start their own IFC. Well, SAE came back 2 years ago to campus, and we affiliated with the school. And the reason that's important is because we have to comply with all USC rules and regulations. For any of one of our events, we have to get approval. We have to work with our advisors at USC, and that ensures that all of these events are done safely and in a correct manner. But it also provides other benefits. And if you look closely at this photo towards the right, you could actually see Carol Folt, who she retired this past semester, but she was in this picture the president of USC at the time. She came by the house, we gave her a tour, and then she actually did a Q&A for all of us after that. A pretty amazing opportunity there. And then other small benefits such as, being able to put flyers on campus or being able to table on campus, that's the kind of things we get through being affiliated with the school. I want to talk about philanthropy for a minute, mostly because this is something that's important to me. I mentioned kind of our positions before. One of our positions is a philanthropy chairman, and his job is to make sure that, we're giving back to society. And here's a few, um, you know, partnerships slash things we're planning to do this semester, starting with NMDP, which basically is a program which gets all the people in the house swabbed on their cheek, and it allows them, if anyone needs a stem cell transplant, you can find a donor through our network. And I've heard stories of people literally saving lives through this initiative. So we're going to plan to partner with them. We're already in communication with them. We also plan to volunteer at a food bank this semester. And I know our philanthropy chairman has a few other things planned that's not on this list right now. But the last thing I'll mention is the Trojan Dance Marathon partnership. This is actually a club on campus. And what they do is they basically host an event once a semester where, they do an all day thing, a bunch of challenges, and they just try and raise money for the Children's Hospital Los Angeles. Not only do most of our members in our fraternity attend this event, but we actually partner with them and we do a pickleball tournament during the semester where everybody's welcome. Anybody at USC can come through. They have to pay an entry fee, and all that money goes to the Children's Hospital Los Angeles. We also hosted another event related to the Children's Hospital Los Angeles, and we in total raised over $10,000 for the Children's Hospital Los Angeles last semester. So that's all I'm going to say about philanthropy for now. I'm going to pass it over to Jamil, who is our house director.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for taking your time to join us here tonight. As Kobe says, I'm Jamil Tharp. I am the house director. I am not a student as I look so much as a close to age to a lot of the guys. I recently graduated from the University of Texas at Tyler in 2020 with my master's, not master's, undergraduate in communications. In the screen, you have my contact information here. If you have any questions in regards about the house or how your student can live in the house, I'll be happy to take any questions at a later time. But just to go over a quick few details, the rent for the house is around 5,300 per semester. Your students are allowed to live in over the summer if they were to get internship or wanted to just stay here over the summer. That is at a different cost and price that the chapter put it at. It's about 40 members that can live in the house. We range from having single bedrooms to double bedrooms and triple bedrooms that are available for our students to pick from. And it's all based on a point system. So them being involved in the chapter, those points translate to them being able to select a room from when it comes time to sign up for a room if they are interested in wanting to live in there. When it comes to our food service, we do provide many services here at the house. One is that it's a food service, and we have an in-house chef that cooks Monday through Friday. Monday through Thursday, it's lunch and dinner, with Friday having brunch, as a lot of the guys are typically not waking up so early in the morning to get started with their day. And then with the cleaning service, we have them coming out twice a week to where they come and clean the common areas. Now it is optional for the students if they'd like to have their bedrooms clean at an additional cost that is later shared with the students. And then lastly, I'd like to go over just a few accommodations that is offered to the house. They have pickleball courts, a grill, they get to have a sauna, they have a gym that is all accessible to the students and for them in that cost that they pay here. And it's just not open to the guys that live in, but also to all of our members that are members in the chapter. But that's all I have. If you have any questions, like I said, my number is here. And then it's sorry to cut off. It's 213-648-2717.
Thanks, Jamil. Let's go to the next slide here.
So yeah, Kobe briefly touched up on this, but we have a great host of alumni network. So as I mentioned a bit earlier, our alumni network is 360,000 strong nationally. And just to talk about our alumni network specifically at the California Gamma chapter, it hosts uh, a lot of titans in the real estate space. So Rick Caruso, Lou Horn, these are both billionaire real estate developers that have contributed a lot to Los Angeles themselves. And in fact, two of our alumni are here on the call, Dan and Pete. These guys are chapter advisors, and they're alumni from different chapters at SAE nationally. But I think that's extremely unique that although they weren't a part of this chapter, they're here helping us out. And I think that speaks volumes to the brother and the connection that we have here at SAE.
Yeah, so Dan or Pete, if you want to jump in and add anything.
And I can see you're driving. You wanna go first?
Yeah, sorry about that. I really thought I was going to be able to get home before this, but then my daughter's swim class was an hour instead of half an hour. My bad. Life. So, no, I got to say, I went to Western Michigan University. It was one of the great experiences of my college career. And now that I live in California, I was looking for a way to get back involved with the fraternity because it really is extraordinary. And just the creed of the fraternity, the True Gentleman, if you haven't read it, you should, because it in this day and age, frankly, I think it stands up as a document that you would want every man to be, or at least aspire to be. And we really believe in it, and we speak to it, we recite it at every single meeting. It means a lot to us, and I just really wanted to get back involved. So that's why I'm here. And I got to say about this group, blown away by how mature and how on point they are with their speaking skills, with their presentation skills, with their just having just a great group of guys to be around, I gotta say. And you can judge a person by their friends. If these are your kids' friends, they're going to be a great group of guys to surround them. I'll kick it over to you, Pete.
Thanks
Sure, thank
very
you,
much.
Dan. I appreciate having an opportunity to be here. Thank you, Jamil, and obviously the boys in the house. And it's great to see all the families that are here tonight. What I will tell you, just a little bit about myself. My name is Pete Getz. I graduated from the University of Kansas in 1997. Obviously was an SAE on that campus. I have been involved in that chapter for probably 20 years as an active alumni member serving on their house corporation. And recently, last year, had the opportunity to get involved at the local level because it's much easier to get to USC and be involved than it is to get back to KU on a regular basis with the California Gamma chapter. And it's been absolutely incredible to be a part of this group. I will tell you, in the last year, this is probably one of the fastest growing SAE chapters in the country, not by sheer numbers, but by what they're doing on campus and within the community. They are striving and seeing success on every level. They're continuing to be actively engaged, not only at our national office, but throughout the USC campus, which is exactly what you want to see of any Greek organization. And so it's a privilege and an honor to serve them. For Dan and I as chapter advisors, we basically attend chapter meetings regularly and work with their executive group and leadership group. to strategize and flush out pain points and help work their way through some of the more difficult things that the organization might see. But more importantly, just be
Hmm?
there as alumni to provide
I'm
support.
sorry.
Oh, did I cut out?
Yeah.
Oh, you're good. Go
You're
ahead.
good. You're good.
Yeah, you're good to go, Pete.
Did you hear anything I said?
No,
Yes.
we,
No, 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 we did. Yeah, you're good.
Okay, good. So, I mean, essentially, we're here to just provide a little bit of oversight and support the young men. But I will tell you, they're in amazing hands with the current guys that are there, and with Jamil as the house director. Just an absolutely awesome setup, and you should be very comfortable having your boys be a part of that group. So, thank you for having me tonight.
Thanks so much, Pete. All right, before we open up the floor for questions, Umar, if you want to just talk about this real quick.
Yep. So basically, over the summer, we had a lot of the guys in the chapter intern at these various companies. Obviously, these are kind of more focused on the financial side, but we had graduate students that graduated the past semester in Paramount Studios and Amazon Studios. So the brothers internship ranges from a wide different array of industries, as Kobe mentioned, but these are just some of the more notable ones, just so that you guys have an idea about what we're doing on the career side of the fraternity.
Yeah, that's something very much USC thing. You know, people like to have fun, but they also, sit down and they're focused on their future and they want to do well. And this is kind of an example of that. So we'll open up the floor for questions now. I appreciate you guys sitting through this, but whatever you have, we're happy to answer. One thing I didn't mention is we do host regular chapter meetings once a week. We follow Robert's Rule of Order, and this is kind of our way to stay organized, to get ready for the week ahead. We have a calendar of our entire semester that we share with everybody's Google Calendar, so anybody can know what's going on for the entirety of the semester, just to show, a little bit of our organization, um, and it helps us keep things moving and stay in the flow of things. Okay. If there's no other questions, and you guys have Jamil's number, which I can go back to, I think. Here we go. If you want to reach out to him for anything that comes up at any point, he can also connect you with me and Umar here if you have any questions whatsoever. If you guys are in the Zoom, that means your son went through the process of Rush, and we liked him a lot. So we hope that they have an interest in being a part of this, because we definitely have an interest in them. And again, any questions you have, we're always happy to answer.
Kobe, there's a question about the dues in the chat.
In the chat.
Wanted to touch on, can you talk
Yeah,
about what dues are and what that looks like?
I'm gonna open up this chat.
I don't know.
Here, we'll stop sharing.
Okay, beautiful. Oh, chat's right here. Okay. There we go. Okay. Yeah, no worries. So, I can address the financing aspect of it. So, essentially, dues are paid per semester, every semester. The initial fee is a $3,400 flat fee, which includes the one-time new membership fee. And then after that, I think it's $3,100 per semester following that. Obviously, the dues cover, as Jamil mentioned, the food from Monday through Thursday. 2 times a day, and then Friday brunches. But I think the real opportunity with the dues, and I know that it's a financial commitment, but the real opportunity with the dues is that the ability to live in the house. Obviously, USC being in LA, the real estate is very expensive, and students are paying a lot for on-campus housing. I can speak from experience. Last semester, I was living in student housing called Cardinal Gardens, and the rent approximately was 7,200 for one semester. When you're comparing that with our rate, which is 5,400 per semester, you're saving a lot of money there. And then additionally, being a student at USC living in that housing, it forces you to sign up for some sort of meal plan. And so that's also money being saved there. So I do fully, completely understand the fact that $3,400 is a very substantial fee, but overall, in terms of a net way of looking at it. It's way more affordable if you pay the dues and the benefits that come with that, and compared to the money you'd be paying for housing and for food independently.
Yeah, just to reiterate what he's saying, we know that it's a financial, it can be a lot. But that's why we go through this presentation because there's so much that you get out of it and there's so much that sets you up for the rest of your life, whether it be, the connections, the alumni network, our career development chairman who helps people find internship opportunities. More than that, like Umar said, the money's going towards food and it's going towards stuff in the house. So it's not like it's going to waste. But we understand that it's a lot, but the value you're going to get out of this is more than I could have ever imagined it would have been. So we got a question here. Do you offer payment plans per semester? Yes, we do offer payment plans. We offer two installments, one initially when the semester starts, and then another one a month later. But if there's serious financial situations, we can try and work on something to push it out a little bit, but I'd have to speak to our treasurer who deals with that.
Yeah, and we'll be more than happy to put you in touch with the treasurer if that's a route that you guys want to explore.
Okay. Any other questions?
May I ask one? I'm sorry, it's too small
Absolutely.
for me to use my chat, but if a student goes abroad for a semester, how does that work in terms of their activity in the chapter? If they were already living in the house and then they go away for a semester and come back, can they still come back and live in the house?
Yeah, Jamil, I don't know if you want to jump in on this, but
Yep.
from my understanding, we have semester leases that are 1 semester long. So you could actually do a semester lease, go abroad, and then you could come back and sign a full year lease or whatever it might be. But Jamil, confirm that
Well,
for
yeah,
me.
that's correct. If they, which we do have students that do study abroad, and that live in the house now, they probably would have to put their stuff either in a storage or we have here space in the attic if they were to return, so they don't have to like necessarily move completely out of the house and they can store it upstairs. But we do a semester leases for students that do want to study abroad.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Welcome.
Yeah.
No worries.
All right. Any final questions?